And welcome to the Trinity Initial Grade song from the 2016 to 2019 series called Luna. The song is interesting in the concept that we have the bass notes not on the first beat of the bar, so an interesting use of the bass notes, and we'll talk about those as we go through. The time signature of the song is 3/4, which means 3 crotchet beats in a bar, and cantabile just means in a singing style. So we want the melody line to come through in a nice singing manner. I'll take us through the first phrase of the song, and we can see how the phrasing is done, as it can feel just a little bit like a row of notes unless we actually put the phrasing feel into it as well. So I'm going to use some dynamics and some expression to help us do that. So we start off with finger 2, of course, on note A of string 3. Just a little tip here, I'm going to use my index finger on my right hand to play that note, index, because the next note is on string 2, which is note C, so we use finger 1, and therefore my middle finger can play that. So that means just aligning the index and middle fingers to start with gives you a nice strong start to the song. I'll put my thumb on string 5 because that's the first bass note I'm going to play, and so let's have a little look at this to see how it sounds. So I'll say the note names first to help us through. So we've got A, C, A, A, G sharp, fret 1 of string 3, back to A, B, then low E, E, and then another low E, string 6. And that's our first phrase. So the only thing to remember, if you're not used to G sharp, fret 1 of string 3, and that's that note sorted. So I'll play this first phrase. Let's see what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that will be the start of the next phrase, that A at the end of the 4th bar. It's kind of a repeat phrase, just played with a slightly different ending. So how can we make this sound nice and singing in the melody line and not too strong on the bass notes? We don't want big bass notes like this. So just play the bass notes softly. Make them act as a rhythmic accompaniment so they're not dominating the melody line. What I'll do, I'll put a little bit of expression. I'll take the end of the first phrase, I'll bring the dynamic down a little bit lower. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And you can see what was happening there was I just brought it down, and that allowed us to start phrase 2 a little bit with a feeling that the sentence, the previous sentence or phrase had ended. So carrying on from there, we have our A, C, A, B. Bar 6 now, A, G sharp, A, B. So we had a G sharp in bar 7, a E, which is fret 2 of string 4. So that's like a middle E. If you say you've got a high E, a low E, and then this one in the middle. It's the bottom line of the music stave, as you can see in bar 8 there. Now, because I played G sharp with my fingers, I played that string 4 note, that E, with my bass, with my fingers instead of using my thumb, and that just separates out the sound from the 2 low notes. Then we end up with an A. Then we end up with an A, and that's the start of our new phrase there. So the 2 E's I really think are the end of the phrase, and we start with our new phrase. So although I said ending up there, we're taking it into a new phrase. So let's play that little phrase through, the new phrase. A to start with, 1, 2, A bass, string 5, E, now 2 Ds, so we've got D, 1 D, sorry, D to a C with an E bass, B, A. Okay, so this time we ended the phrase with 2 A basses. This might be the first time that you've played 2 notes together, so we've got a C and an E bass there. So the way to play those, if you watch my right hand, I just bring the thumb and the fingers together, not touching, but don't pull your hand up away like that. Just get used to playing like that, just bringing them together, but not with the hand motion like that, moving it away. So they just come together and that'll give you a nice sound on the 2 notes. Playing that phrase again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then we're into our next phrase. Remember that in the end of line 2 we've got a note that's got a dotted minim, so 3 beats, 1, 2, but on beat 3 we also have a low bass note, so that's how you count that bar. So I'm going into bar 12, we're going to play that phrase from the end of bar 12. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then our repeat phrase, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's the phrase with the E on string 4, fret 2, followed by the 2 low E notes, and now our end phrase. So we're starting off on bar 20, A, 1, low A, 2, the D, C with the E, remember, just keep a nice action on the hand, on the right hand, rallentando on the A, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Lots of repeat phrases, just keeping the bass notes quiet, so don't make those dominate. Look for where the phrasings that I've defined are, so maybe just put a pencil mark and just put a little phrase mark, a little line over the top of them to show where those phrases are. The only other thing I wanted to mention really was, you saw me probably using finger 4 a lot of time for the D on fret 3 of string 2. You can, of course, if you wish, to use fret 3. I just kind of mix and match as I've been going through this book, and just to demonstrate it can be done with both sets of fingers. If you've got nice big hands and you want to use finger 3, that's fine. If you've got smaller hands and you feel more comfortable with 4, then do so. So good luck with Luna.